What's up, Chicago? I'm Second City Sam, and I'm alongside the important Joe Cerna, and you're listening to the official Sam and Joe Show podcast. Today, we are going to review what happened at WWE Fastlane, and of course, we're going to review what happened on Monday Night Raw last night. First of all, Joe, did you watch the pay-per-view?
Most definitely. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
What did you think of it before we get into detail here?
One of the better pay-per-views. I mean, I was actually surprised at how good it was.
Yeah, not bad, right? I mean, I wasn't expecting a whole lot going into it, but neither was everybody else. I thought it was a little underrated. The matches were of solid content. Not sure about some of the endings, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. So I want to start off here. Let's start off with the tag team division. You had the Usos, who were the champions against Tyson Kidd and Cesaro at Fastlane. The winners were obviously Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
I'm liking it.
You liking it?
I'm liking it.
You liking that tag team?
Just because of how much they don't work out makes them work out.
What do you mean?
Like, they're so different. And the fact that, I mean, they don't have matching trunks. Nothing about them, you look at them and you're like, oh, they're a team.
Yeah.
And it makes sense of how well it worked, because then you think of people like Booker T and Goldust when they were a team, how different they were.
Oh, yeah.
And they made a team. The Rock and Sock Connection.
Oh, that's probably the most different one you've ever seen.
I mean, it was just, I think it'll work, because Tyson Kidd, he has a lot of
potential?
Yeah, like he can.
He's a very good wrestler. He's a little underrated, in my opinion.
And Cesaro.
Yeah. Formerly as Antonio Cesaro.
Yeah, he's got a good fan base, and
he does. Some fans really feel he's underappreciated in the WWE.
I think so.
I mean, think about it. The guy, you take a look at the guy. He doesn't look like he's all that strong, but he quite possibly could be the strongest guy in that company.
Maybe even in the history.
What do you mean?
Who's stronger?
Stronger? Brock Lesnar?
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Really think about it.
He's this... Joe, he's around the same area as Brock Lesnar. There's no way to really prove if he's stronger than Brock Lesnar. But who would you go with? Looking at the body build, who do you think would be the stronger guy?
Brock Lesnar.
Oh, exactly. Just by the way of looking at him.
That match would be great. Brock Lesnar, Cesaro.
Well, some people are arguing that would blow the main event at WrestleMania, which we'll get into later, away. They'd say they blow that match away.
Most definitely.
So, like we said, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd are the new tag team champions. I'm pretty excited to see what they could do in that division. Like you said, two different guys, two different styles even. But they work well together, and that's the key to winning those type of matches. The Usos, I will mention real quick. Last night on Raw, they used their rematch clause for the championships. They won the match and got via disqualification because of Natalya interfering. In the match. So it was pretty stupid. I didn't like it.
It's just a way to show the assurance that they're the champions.
Yeah, they're going to make a run at it. That's what it's showing. All right, moving on here. Let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship match that went on at Fastlane. Dean Ambrose, who I really, really thought was going to win the match, in my previous podcast, faced off against the champion, Bad News Barrett. What'd you think of that match, Joe?
Pretty solid match. I'm a fan of both of their styles of wrestling, but I just can't get over the fact that Bad News Barrett has the worst name in wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And then the worst finishers, man.
He's so cheesy. Like
the bullhammer is okay, but that waistline.
It's not. Bullhammer's not even okay. How's that going to knock somebody out?
It's a forearm to the chin.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is.
Gets you right in the button.
Oh, bring the bullhammer down on you. I don't know, but the results of the match were kind of disappointing. Barrett was running away from Dean Ambrose during the match. Dean Ambrose finally got him back in the ring, put him in the corner, was stomping him. The referee, I mean, I didn't even hear the count myself, but I guess he counted to his normal 5 count, and as you know, if you get to the 5 count and you don't let up, you lose the match by disqualification. I mean, what kind of ending were you expecting? Because that ending really annoyed me.
That's pretty funny. I just feel like this Fastlane pay-per-view deal, it's just a push for WrestleMania. I think it's going to be nothing but rematches at WrestleMania.
You know, thinking about it, it really is. I mean, it's going to be, Dean Ambrose is going to be in the Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania. But I will mention that it might not just be him and Bad News Barrett. I mean, will it be a triple threat? Will it be a thing with Ambrose, Bad News Barrett, and Dolph Ziggler? Who would wind up winning, in your opinion, just based off of what happened at Fastlane and Raw? Who would wind up winning the belt?
You know what? I would say Ziggler.
Really?
Yeah, you throw Ziggler the belt and have a big feud between him and Ambrose. Or turn Dolph Ziggler heel.
Which I heard could be a possibility.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just throwing that out there because that could do something. Usually heels do better in this day and age. So he flips heel, gets an even bigger fan base, and has this giant feud with Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. I mean, I thought right off the bat that Dean Ambrose was going to win the match at Fastlane and go on, have a big old title run for the Intercontinental, have it for at least until like SummerSlam or something, and then kind of push him up towards the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that did not happen. Let's move on here.
Well, hold on.
Okay,
they can do, like, let's say if Dean Ambrose were to win the belt, okay, and think of who's in charge of all the storylines and all. It's Triple H, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Vince McMahon.
Well, Triple H too. They're all
but Vince is ultimately the decision maker.
Okay. Anyways,
I'm right.
Think about 2002. What was the match? Let's do No Mercy. Who did Triple H go against? Kane, right?
Okay.
What was the stipulation of the match?
Champion versus champion.
The World Heavyweight against the Intercontinental.
Yeah.
Now they throw up Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns. The WWE World Heavyweight against the Intercontinental. Boom.
Wait a minute. Who's to say Seth Rollins is in there by then?
I said either or.
Well, I know, but you forgot to mention like Daniel Bryan or something.
I highly doubt they're going to do that.
What about Brock Lesnar?
No.
We'll get into this later, but there could be a chance that he retains as well.
You think so? He's not going to the UFC.
Well, he might not.
It would be stupid for WWE to let him go and not be the heavyweight champion.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that in just a little later.
Just a little later.
Just a little later on in the Page. Moving on here, let's get into the divas.
Hashtag Talk is Jericho.
Yeah, way to plug another Page.
It's a great podcast.
It is a good podcast. But moving on in the Divas competitions over here, we had Nikki Bella versus good old Paige for the, as Jillian put it, or Lillian. I don't even remember her name. That's how bad she was at Fastlane.
Who?
The ring announcer.
Lillian?
Yeah, Lillian. The women's champion. It's not even the women. That's like 5 years ago. No, but in all honesty, Paige, she lost the match to Nikki Bella for the title. It was stupid. They don't give the divas enough to do.
You know what? Stop complaining. All I hear you do is complain, Sam.
Really? You think the divas are getting enough time? They're not. They're getting no respect right now from the WWE.
I think they're getting a fair amount of respect. It's the same respect they've always gotten.
No, I disagree.
They didn't...
The Divas matches were exciting. They were longer.
Like
Trish versus Lita.
That was a good feud.
Yeah. Well, they don't build any feuds.
They would build the matches longer if there was more story behind it. The fans they're not groping in on the stories as much as they are the main eventers.
Exactly, which means they're doing a terrible job with the Divas.
Well, I mean, what more story can you do? They have a whole show. They have the Total Diva show.
Nobody watches that. I don't.
Just because you don't doesn't mean everybody else does.
I've never heard of one wrestling fan that watches that. Do you watch that, Joe? Is that your type of show?
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
They're on their third season for a reason.
Yeah?
You know why? As soon as they brought John Cena and Daniel Bryan, even men were like, "Oh, John Cena and Daniel, let's see what that's about."
No.
A lot of people have.
I don't see why. What does it? What does that have to
show.
do? What does that have to do with
anything? It makes you connect with the show even more. I mean, with even WWE, it makes you connect with the wrestlers more because you see the people behind the stage. It's not, oh, I'm going to whoop their butt at the pay-per-view. No, it's like, oh, hey, I got to do this, like Fandango.
What about him?
It shows a whole nother side of him than his character. Like, oh, hey, when we go out there and dance and do this, stuff like that. It shows you the real person.
Okay.
But besides that, they have this show that influences their storyline. But if the people were like, oh, yeah, Nikki's doing whatever to her sister, but Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, oh, which one are they going to want to see longer? Yeah, the girls entertain them, but you want to see the guys fight, you know?
All right. Well, moving on here from that, we're going to get into the match that opened up the pay-per-view. It was a 6-man tag team match. It was Kane, The Big Show, and Seth Rollins versus Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, and Eric Rowan. That match was, it was okay, kind of lame. The outcome was just as I expected.
I completely forgot the storyline behind that. Good thing Michael Cole was actually being a bad commentator and using story rather than calling the match. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known why they were wrestling.
How did you forget that?
It's not something I pay attention to. It's like, I went in there, I'm like, oh, they're having a 6-man tag match? Like, this is something?
Well, what happened at the end was probably the best part. I mean, well, obviously Big Show, Kane, and Rollins cheated to win, as we all expected they would. But the Authority was beating up everybody in the ring when all of a sudden, Randy Orton, the Apex player, the Viper himself, came out.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
Further story to make sense. Why didn't John Cena come out as well? If it was his fault that they lost their jobs and all this other stuff.
That's not why Randy Orton came out.
I know, but still, I'm saying, why didn't John Cena come out?
Because John Cena had a match against Rusev later on.
Oh, so he had to mentally prepare.
He had to prepare himself
He had to
for the Bulgarian brute.
He had hustle, loyalty, and respect.
Hey, you quit knocking John Cena. I like John Cena.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, like, he could have came out and helped him because it was his fault that all this happened.
How is it his fault?
Survivor Series last year.
I know that. But they were as emotionally involved as he was, you know.
Randy Orton wasn't.
No, I'm not saying Randy Orton.
It would make more sense for John Cena to come out than Randy Orton. I mean, or both of them.
Randy Orton was put out because of Seth Rollins, Joe. That's
Okay.
why Randy Orton came out.
And why wouldn't John Cena come out to help his buddies?
Because John Cena had a match.
And he didn't have a match right then and there. He came out, help him. Hey, buds, sorry for getting your jobs, and you're being harassed.
He was taking his pregame nap. That's all.
He was eating a bowl of Fruity Pebbles.
Hey, I like Fruity Pebbles. Nothing wrong with that. Moving on though, until Joe rudely interrupts. No. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Bray Wyatt. We all know about the promos that he has been spewing out into the Monday Night Raws, but at Fastlane, he had another one, but this time it was a little different.
Blows all questions out of the air.
Let's take a listen.
Wait a minute. That's, my goodness. Oh my goodness.
There's a wicked feeling in the air tonight. Can you feel it? You know, I will never forget the first time that I saw him. He made me tremble. His eyes, they were so cold, man. And behind them was nothing but darkness. And I feared him. But now, he has become just like everyone else. Weak and broken. Just a shell of what he once was. His obsession with sympathy has turned a monster into a mere mortal. And now his soul is lost. Stuck in limbo between your world and ours. But I think, man, it's time for him to go home. My mission is clear. I know you can hear me. I know that you are listening. And I want you to know that I don't fear you anymore. Because I am pain. I am suffering. I am Bray Wyatt, the new face of fear. And at WrestleMania, I will claim the soul of The Undertaker.
That was Bray Wyatt coming out to The Undertaker's music. And the Druids were there and everything. The casket comes out. That's unbelievable. I mean, he has got a lot of cojones to come out to the dead man's music. What did you think?
I thought it was original, and I could see this being a very interesting story, and how I want to see how they're going to play with this story.
Well, rumor has it that The Undertaker might not actually make an appearance on Raw. Rumor has it that he might just wait until WrestleMania to make an appearance.
That ain't happening.
Really?
Wouldn't happen.
Why not?
Why would they?
Well, I'm just reading you a rumor. I mean, from PW Insider.
Well, PW Insider, whoever wrote that needs to get a Stone Cold Stunner. or in context, needs a tombstone.
So what do you think he's going to do then?
He's going to come out.
When?
Whenever he wants, because he's The Undertaker. And he's going to be, Bray, me and you at WrestleMania. Then he's going to point at the sign. He's say, you will rest in. And then he's going to interrupt them, and then they're going to have a little, you don't interrupt me, boy. And then he's going to be like, I'll interrupt you, boy. And then he just do a stupid little acrobatic yoga pose and walk towards him.
His stupid little acrobatic.
And Undertaker, boom, gone.
Now,
boom.
What would you think if The Undertaker came out not as...
Shut up,
the Phenom.
Sam.
Hey.
That's not happening.
How do you know? How do you know? If he doesn't make an appearance until WrestleMania, how is that not a possibility?
How is it a possibility?
How is it not? if he's gonna retire after the match, Joe,
Why would he retire as something he was for only a couple of years?
Joe, I'm saying because as the dead man, he doesn't really speak, on the mic much as he does. He doesn't.
He does.
He doesn't. Not as much as he did when he was the American Badass. But when he was the American Badass, he was on the mic more. He was more in tune with the fans. So, like, if he wanted to give like a speech or something, his goodbye speech, like Edge, then he could do that as the American Badass.
He can equally do something with way less words because he's the Undertaker.
What do you mean with
okay,
go ahead.
This is what he's going to do.
Okay.
What he can do. He's going to stand in the middle of the ring. Or like that Monday night after WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe even that night of WrestleMania. Well, it would be cooler in my head the night after on Raw.
Okay.
Goes on Raw. The music hits. Has his 50-minute walk down to the ring. Raises the lights. Comes in. Takes off his hat. Sets it in the middle of the ring. Leaves.
Stupid. Don't like it.
That would be very substantial.
It wouldn't.
It would be as equally as...
It wouldn't be cool enough for me. It's not the way he should go out.
That would be equally as... I'm trying to think of the word. It would be impactful, effective, whatever you want to use. It'd be the equivalent of him saying, "Oh, I've appreciated it all over the years."
It wouldn't be. No, it wouldn't be as effective.
This company has done so much for me, and I've done so much for them. No.
Okay, that's not at all what he would say.
How can you be the American Badass and come out? I love this job, but I can't do it anymore.
I'm not saying he has to do it like that.
How else would he do it?
I don't know.
Come
but that's
on,
what
man.
WWE.
I'm retiring.
That's what WWE creative is for.
And how creative was what I just said?
That was lame.
Very
Lamer and
good.
lame. Too cheesy. Like
Undertaker's whole gimmick is cheesy.
I know, but it works for him.
You think Undertaker's really dead?
No. Oh, yeah, absolutely. The dead man is actually wrestling as a dead man.
Exactly. The whole gimmick is cheesy. And if he just puts down his hat, goes to the end of the Titantron, raises up his right arm, crowd pops, there goes the Undertaker.
No, that's not a way to go
That's
out.
exactly. If it doesn't go that way, it's going to be something way cooler. But
Absolutely, it's
there's
going to be
nothing
something
cooler
cool.
than that.
Give me a break, Joe. If you think that's cool.
Why would you want him to say anything?
Oh, I'm not saying he has to, but I'm saying like if he goes out the dead man, as you're saying, he's gonna do something way cooler than that. That's so lame.
Like
that
what?
Is so lame. I don't know. I'm not creative like that, but that's not good enough for me. If I'm a fan, which I am, I'm a fan of the Undertaker. If I see that, I'm just like, all right, what's next? Like that.
That's it. He's leaving.
No. That nobody's gonna know that he's leaving if he does that.
If he puts down his hat
No.
in the middle of the ring,
Nah. Maybe like an urn or something.
no, because then he's leaving Paul Bearer there. I'm leaving you.
I'm leaving you, Paul.
Get over you.
I don't know. There's got a lot of options. They have a lot of options to do with that.
I want to hear him.
Me? No,
Let's-
I'm not. I'm
let's
saying
hear
they
him, yeah.
have a lot of options to play with. He can go out any way he wants, and he'll probably be the choosing of that.
I highly doubt. I could bet my life that he won't come back as American Badass.
I'm not saying he will. I'm
come
saying
out on a motorcycle.
I'm saying-
done.
I'm saying, isn't that a possibility? Anything is possible, Joe.
It's not possible.
Okay.
Unless
Just
if he
like-
has another crack at his whole career, he's not coming back.
Just like it wasn't possible that he did it the first time. Nobody knew. Nobody had any idea he was going to do it the first time.
Exactly. Why would he do that again?
But it worked.
It was something he tried.
I know.
And I'm not saying it didn't work.
I know what you're
But
saying.
he obviously went back to the dead man for a reason.
Yeah, because buried him alive. He had to come back as something. They killed him. He had to come back as the dead man. You get it?
Yeah.
You get it, Joe? You get it? Yeah.
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 So what, are you going to kill a dead man? And when you come back, I'm the alive man.
Well, no, he...
On the motorcycle.
Listen, Brock Lesnar broke The Undertaker.
So he's going to come back as Batman.
Yeah, he's... Yeah, there you go. There you go. Anyway, prediction, though. Does he leave after WrestleMania? Is he done for sure after that?
I don't know. He's going to come out with a rubber suit. Where's Bray Wyatt?
No, I mean, like...
And punch him in the face.
Is WrestleMania his last match?
Where's Brock Lesnar?
He wants
Get it?
Brock Lesnar
He's
again.
Batman. Get it?
Let it go.
It's going to be like Batman versus Bane. Did you watch The Dark Knight Rises?
I don't watch dumb movies.
It was a really good movie. Anyways, well, I'll explain to you. This sums up the whole thing. Bane, the main protagonist, is equal to Brock Lesnar in this equation. Batman equal to The Undertaker. Okay, so Bane, well, The Undertaker is very confident. I mean, Batman's very confident. Oh, I don't need to train to beat this guy up. I'll beat him up. Whatever. I haven't put on my Batman suit in 7 years. I can do this. Fights him. Bane's is laughing at him. Ha ha ha. And breaks his back. And Batman has to completely regain composure, learn how to walk again, all that other stuff in some Middle Eastern place. And he has to climb out. And he doesn't do it with the rope, so if he falls, he's dead. Blah, 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 blah. Goes back, fights Bane. Undertaker comes back. Oh, I don't need to wrestle and prepare for Brock Lesnar. Gets beat up. Now he's going to come back, face Bray Wyatt. I don't think he's going to go against Brock Lesnar again, because then he'd die.
You dragged it. You're dragging this out.
But
cut to the chase here.
It's similar to the Batman story.
Okay, so is Batman done after WrestleMania 31?
I don't know. Batman was done after he beat Bane.
All right, we're going to move on here from this Undertaker thing.
Undertaker is Batman.
We could talk about the Undertaker for hours on end, but we're not going to do that because we have other things to talk about. Let's talk about the John Cena and Rusev match.
Speaking of Batman, now we're going to Superman.
Give it a rest. It was an okay match for me. Sometimes, like you mentioned during the show, sometimes you forget that it was for the United States Championship.
You mentioned that.
No, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, thanks for giving me credit, though, because it was a good point, because really, they didn't force that on you enough. Like, they mentioned, oh, there's going to be this rivalry between Cena and Rusev, America versus Russia. Yeah, well, obviously, America didn't win. Yeah, Rusev cheated. He won the match. Well, he kicked him in the nuts. I don't know if you call that cheating or not. It's up to you. Kicked him in the head, put him in the accolade, knocked him out. Boom, match over. Russia wins.
What I don't understand, why does he have an Americanized finisher? Like they call it the accolade. Why isn't it called the Rusev bend your back or something like that?
Rusev bend your back. Well, I mean, before he does it, he goes, Rusev crush!
Yeah, they can,
so that kind of makes it kind of Russian.
They can call it something stupid or something in Russian.
I don't know. Once again, Joe, why don't you go to WWE Creative?
I will become a writer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll be waiting. I mean, do you think this match is going to carry over to WrestleMania, though?
It has to.
Well, on Monday Night Raw last night, Cena came out to address what happened and what's next and whatnot. He challenged Rusev at WrestleMania for the championship. Rusev said, "What makes you think you deserve it?" My answer is no. Walked out. Cena walked out. So as of right now, no, there's not a rematch.
There is a rematch.
I think there's going to be two, but I'm just saying.
What else are you going to do with John Cena?
I don't know.
I think, well, this would have been last year, but I would have thought John Cena would have ended Undertaker.
Ended the Undertaker.
He's the only person in my head that makes sense.
I don't know. That was for last conversation. But ultimately, I think John Cena takes the United States Championship at WrestleMania. Hands Rusev his first loss. Agree?
Yes.
Should be nothing more than that. I mean, people haven't made a big deal out of this rivalry.
And then here's something for you. What's next for John Cena? What's next for Rusev? Does it really make sense to give John Cena the belt? If they give him the belt, yeah, they put the belt on this pedestal, but then you completely crap on Rusev.
How's that crapping on Rusev? You lost to John Cena.
Exactly.
That's not a bad thing.
And then what is he going to fulfill after that?
Well, if he loses the United States Championship, John Cena would have probably put him over in hopefully what will be a good match. Therefore, making a run at the top.
Okay. Now, how about this? Rusev beats John Cena at WrestleMania.
Which could happen.
Gets a bigger pop. Belt is even more substantial. if they push the fact that they're fighting for a belt. And then it's like, oh, this guy is somebody to, not mess with. He's over here beating John Cena. Because I mean, before that, he beat Jack Swagger. Whatever.
Jack Swagger.
The Big Show. Whatever. The guy's really fat.
Let's dwell on the fact that Big Show is fat.
Yeah, who cares the fact that he bench presses 800 pounds?
So what are you getting at here?
Although I think the whole John Cena winning thing is what should happen, I think...
Which it probably will happen.
It would be better to have Rusev win.
Could be. I mean, in the long run, for everybody, it could be better.
And I think going with the whole undefeated thing really gets them it limits them to creativity. Because when you lose matches, it becomes grudge matches. The intensity builds up,
Yeah.
And this is just another thing for John Cena to conquer.
Yeah.
It doesn't become Rusev's thing. It becomes John Cena. What does John Cena have to do to overcome
me?
And before this, what did John Cena have to do to overcome Brock Lesnar? That's another Batman Bane thing. John Cena had to get beat and rise above it all to rebuild himself and beat Brock Lesnar, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And now John Cena's got to get beaten by Rusev, and he's got to come back. He's going to beat him, and then what's next for John Cena? What's next for Rusev?
Damn good question.
Is Rusev going to go after the Intercontinental? Is he going to go after the World Heavyweight? Or is he just going to be some other bub with a hot chick as his manager? Or is she going to break away from him? Say, F you, Russia, something like that. You just don't know what to do with these guys after WrestleMania. How are they going to play with these guys after WrestleMania?
For me, the unbeaten streak or the undefeated streak is carried on way too long. It's gotten a little crummy for me. I mean, I don't know. I'm tired of hearing about. That's why I was kind of hoping Cena would win it there, but I knew it wouldn't happen at Fastlane. I still think it's going to happen at WrestleMania, but you brought up a good point. I'm not sure what they're going to go from there. But then again, WWE always has something up their sleeve, whether it be good or bad. So I'm sure they'll have something ready for us. Moving on here to the Triple H and Sting situation. Now, at Fastlane, they met face-to-face, obviously. Triple H came out as a cool guy in a leather jacket, and he was the game again.
He got to spit his water and hit his tapes all wrist. Oh, I train MMA.
Does he?
Yeah. Him, Stephanie, and his kids.
Really?
Yeah, they all go to Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
How about that? Huh. Did not know that.
Did you know The Undertaker did?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know The Big Show does?
No, I did not.
Did you know like half of the roster does?
No, I did not.
Did you know they're thinking about making that mandatory to get all the wrestlers in shape?
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Wouldn't it be at all? It prolongs their careers.
But getting back into Sting and Triple H, they met at Fastlane face-to-face. Triple H tried to resolve Sting's problem, I guess, and told him, if you walk away now, we might even put you in the Hall of Fame. We'll give you all kinds of merchandise. We'll give you stuff on the network.
You think Triple H was intoxicated in some sort of way, or influenced by, basically not sober at all?
What do you mean?
Because I think he didn't notice that was a bat to his face and not a gun. The way they played that out, really, like, that was cheesy.
Would you want to get hit in the face with a bat?
And he has it like this.
I know, under the chin.
Like, under the chin, and he has a hammer in it. Which one's going to hurt more? A hammer or a bat?
Okay, but the bat is already against your chin. The hammer's over here.
Yeah, and how are you going to hit somebody with a bat when you already have the bat there? You need to pull momentum. He already has his hands back with the hammer. He'll slap away the bat, hit you in the face with the hammer.
Okay, but I don't know if you're thinking that as you got a bat against your...
You have a hammer in your hand. You better be thinking something.
Well, first of all, it's a sledgehammer. It's not a regular hammer. And second of all...
Still a hammer.
This is the WWE, Joe.
Yeah.
It's not real.
It's not.
It's a storyline.
But I mean, see, that's why if I was in the creative, you got to play in. Think of his nickname, the Cerebral Assassin. That's mental. If he was smarter than Sting, he would know that, hey, my hammer is going to hurt more. If I slap away the bat, hit him in the stomach, pedigree. Oh, how you like that, son? Like, and then Sting, like, oh,
Well,
you bamboozled me, Triple H, you hooligan. Like something like that.
it didn't happen that way. Sting pointed the bat to the WrestleMania sign, marking that he wants Triple H at WrestleMania. It's going to happen. It was confirmed later on in the show. Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania. That could be the main event. In alone, it could be the main event.
It's one of those main events that's not the main events.
Yeah.
Like Undertaker CM Punk
Well,
of that WrestleMania.
yeah. I didn't enjoy that match.
Really?
No.
That means you didn't enjoy the whole WrestleMania because that was the best match on the card.
Well, probably not. Well, I didn't watch that WrestleMania live. I watched it on the network like 2 weeks ago.
You didn't get the same intensity.
No. Well, I mean,
You missed like the whole flair of CM Punk.
I did.
I feel bad for you.
Well, that's okay because CM Punk is trash.
Oh, maybe trash talk. But
I'm just kidding. I don't mind CM Punk. I just don't like his fans. Moving on to the main event now. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan for the honor of facing at WrestleMania for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Side note, since you said it like that, you a fan of podcasts? Obviously, you are. We're throwing down on one right now.
Sure.
Check out Paul Heyman's podcast. Well, it's not his podcast, but it's I want to say Chris Jericho's.
Did he have him on there?
No, Stone Cold's, and he had Paul Heyman on there. It was a really good podcast.
Bet it was. Paul Heyman's a really smart guy.
Check that one out.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Lesnar, Reigns and Bryan.
Reigns and Bryan at
debacle.
Fastlane. People could not believe that Roman Reigns beat Daniel Bryan cleanly, 1, 2, 3 from a spear. What did you think about that match? I thought it was a great match. Great match. I didn't expect that great of a match, and it was awesome. It blew me away.
I just don't like my own mindset. I overthink things.
Okay.
So when I see things like that happen, in my own head, I feel like, okay, so that spear is, more impactful than a pedigree.
I was thinking that too.
Like, to me, it diminishes everything. Like, oh, that spear's, worse than Kane's chokeslam.
Right.
Or anything that Kane can do. Anything. 'Cause Triple H couldn't beat Daniel Bryan. I mean, Roman Reigns is better than Triple H. That's how I think in my head.
That's what they're trying to push on everybody. They're saying his spear is so forceful that it just took Daniel Bryan out. Daniel Bryan on Raw last night said he gave it everything he had. He put it all on the line. He threw everything he had at Roman Reigns. And he lost. That's what Daniel Bryan was saying. And I lost.
Whatever.
Like, they're trying to put Roman Reigns in that category of he's just too good. Which, right now, obviously, he's not.
Facepalm.
Go ahead. Give me your thoughts, man. Don't hold it in.
Well, we're family friendly.
Okay.
I don't want to have to click the explicit button. But I don't like Roman Reigns.
That's fine.
I don't like Daniel Bryan. I don't like the whole direction of this whole main event. Things that are going on. You want to give this guy everything when he means nothing. That's how I feel about Roman Reigns. It's the nicest way I could put it. You're giving everything that means nothing.
What do you mean it means nothing?
He means nothing. He sucks.
He sucks.
That's
Plain
it.
and simply sucks.
There's nothing about him that's good.
I don't think he's as bad as everybody thinks he is.
He sucks.
He doesn't.
He has a very... Well, maybe that's what the best of the business needs.
What?
A short move list a terrible gimmick.
Terrible gimmick. I will agree with the terrible gimmick.
mic skills. The only best of the businesses that have had great mic skills is John Cena. I'm talking about face of the company. When I'm thinking face of the company, I'm thinking Hulk Hogan, John Cena, and then you want to throw Roman Reigns. You want to throw faces of the eras. Because I won't even put Stone Cold in that because that's a joke. Don't you ever compare any of these wrestlers to Stone Cold.
No way.
Okay, so Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Roman Reigns.
That's a joke. Somebody loves Stone Cold too much.
John Cena, his all-around character is way better than Hulk Hogan. The fact that John Cena is doing what Hulk Hogan did and making it work now, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, yada, yada, yada. He's doing it now. Hustle, loyalty, respect. What does this guy got? Believe in it. Believe that. Like, you took your Shield gimmick and made it into one guy. Instead of believe in the Shield, believe that. If the Shield impacted you so much, the fact that your brethren, Seth Rollins, turned on you, why would you still embrace that gimmick? Why would you still come out to the same music? It just doesn't make sense. His character doesn't make sense. His moveset sucks.
Well,
he doesn't have no intensity behind his wrestling.
Hold on. The moveset, yes. But think about it. Powerhouses usually don't have a lot of moveset.
John Cena jumps off the top rope, gives you a leg drop to the back of the neck.
John Cena doesn't have a lot either, buddy.
He doesn't. That's what I'm saying. That's what you need in a face of the company, I guess, is a short... Because John Cena, like we were talking about when we were watching John Cena earlier in his career, the amount of move
he
used to do...
He had a ton, yeah.
And then once you, like, market these certain moves... Like, you need to break away from that stuff. When do you see people like, we'll even go new? Seth Rollins, when does he ever does the same moves consistently in every match? No, he throws it in there. He accommodates to the person next to him, who he's working with. And Roman Reigns is just one big joke.
Well,
man.
That's what happens when, like say, back to the John Cena thing. He makes these moves, signature moves. So in the beginning, like when John Cena was starting to get popular, everybody wanted to see those moves, so therefore they become kind of like a repeat affair every single week, and the WWE just obviously can't understand that nobody wants to see the same things anymore.
Yeah, because when you're pulling out the same moves and the same stops that you're trying to overcome in a Raw that you are a pay-per-view, that pay-per-view sucks. If you have to try equally as hard as in a regular show that you are in a pay-per-view, what does that pay-per-view mean? Nothing. You want to overcome even more odds in the pay-per-view to make us watch more.
Right.
Roman Reigns, I've watched Fastlane. I have no interest in seeing the main event at all.
You should. It was a really good match.
I don't doubt it, and the only reason why I would want to watch it because of Daniel Bryan. Hate Daniel Bryan, but I love his moveset. He reminds me of... He's exactly what he is to that of Bret Hart. Big name, but he's just not the face. Chris Benoit, big name, just not the face.
So should Daniel Bryan be the face?
No, and he's not going to be.
Despite how much fans want him to be?
Despite how much, because that's not how WWE works. They have a rerun of each era. They decide when the new era comes. They decide when it changes. Because it never does. You can call the Attitude Era the Attitude Era, but all it was the era with Hulk Hogan, just with swear words and more explicit content.
Yeah, well, it's the truth. So what you're saying is like the same style, just added expletives, pretty much.
That's all the Attitude Era was. A lot more reality, though.
Oh yeah,
not thinking that the fans are dumb. And I feel like this new era is both of them put together. Like, I want you to believe this color blue is red. But hey, go on the internet and I'll tell you why it's not.
I love your
red.
Analogies.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
And that's how it is. The fans are too involved with what's going on behind the scenes.
Oh, that I completely agree with.
There's no shock anymore.
Right. That's why people are hating on the product too, because they already know all these spoilers, all these news stories, all these articles that they're reading are pretty much ruining it for everybody. Yeah. So if you don't want to hate the product, and if you want to be surprised more, we suggest over here at the Sam and Joe Show that you don't read spoilers, don't read articles, and just watch the damn show every Thursday and every Monday and every pay-per-view.
Let me tell you the only shock of the new era that really put me over and made me like him.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker. How can you predict something like that happening?
I didn't.
It would be completely foolish to say, no, The Undertaker's going to lose.
Right.
Nothing added up to where, okay, The Undertaker's looking good. He's not done.
No.
You see him wrestle against Brock Lesnar. He's not done. He still has it. Oh, he loses? Well, what's next for him? He's not doing anything else with his career.
Somebody made a lot of money in Vegas that day because somebody put all their money on Brock Lesnar just to be the oddball, and they won so much money. And kudos to them because they got lucky.
I don't know. I think I just have a problem with repetitiveness.
I hear you.
After that Undertaker and Brock Lesnar thing, I completely unfollowed WWE. On all social media outlets, everything. I completely shut them out of my life.
Why?
That's what was the question. I thought about it. I'm like, they are amazing. That's why they're number one.
Right. They pissed you off, but...
They did exactly what they wanted to do.
Exactly.
I was like, you know what? Okay.
That's why I don't mind the product right now. Everybody's complaining about that they're not getting what they want. It's not about getting what you want. It's about surprises, and that's what makes the product watchable, because you don't know who's going to win. Instead of knowing who's going to win every week, why don't you just sit back, watch the product, and be surprised? Maybe a pleasant surprise, maybe a surprise that you don't like. Too bad. That's the fun of it.
And I like that you say that. But my only thing is, I want to be surprised. And when they're setting it up not to be surprised, that's when I start to have a problem. I mean, like, this whole The Authority thing, like if it wasn't done before, the corporation.
Yeah.
With The Rock and Shane and blah, 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 blah. And Stone Cold had to, and that's where I don't like it. Because you can't compare anybody to Stone Cold. You really can't.
You can't.
And it's not that even I'm the biggest Stone Cold fan. It's that the amount of stuff this guy did to the company that made the company number one. If it wasn't for this guy, the company would be nothing.
They wouldn't even be there.
Exactly.
WCW would have won.
Yeah. That would have been a sad sight to see. I would have not been a wrestling fan anymore.
Well, me neither. But luckily for Stone Cold and everybody else, Stone Cold was awesome, and he saved the company.
Yeah.
But getting back into that main event here.
Yeah, kind of sidetracked.
That's all right. Hey,
you wanted to hear my thoughts.
It made for good conversation. That's all right. Daniel Bryan lost to Roman Reigns. So, WrestleMania, I don't think it's going to turn into a triple threat match anymore. It's going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
I can see this being a good match.
Really?
If Roman Reigns isn't an idiot.
Isn't an idiot, did you say?
Yeah, if he actually wrestles. Not throw you into the corner, punch you, turn around. I'm such a dominant force. No, wrestle like you mean it. Wrestle like it's your job.
Well, you know what's going to happen, right?
Well, Brock Lesnar's going to whoop him.
He's going to whoop the crap out of him. Then somewhere in the match, he's going to take some kind of turn for the better and win the match.
Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, you know what was another big surprise that I loved it?
Go ahead.
Brock Lesnar whooping John Cena. Completely dominating him in that one match where he gave him 16 German suplexes.
I don't like Brock Lesnar's moveset either anymore. I used to like it.
Yeah, they died his moveset down way too much. But that's not what I'm getting at. The fact that it was something never done before. Who has overcome John Cena like that? Yeah, John Cena's got beaten. He comes back. But he was never dominated.
No.
Brock Lesnar dominated him. I have so much respect for Brock Lesnar.
So do I.
Just because of what they've put him in. Otherwise, as a wrestler, he sucks.
Awful.
Coming back, he sucks. Before, when he was going against Kurt Angle and he was there consistently, he was great.
Yeah, really good matches back then.
Now he's just like, come on, man, you got to show us a little something more.
Right now, he is your everyday powerhouse right now. Except, I mean, like, I guess you'd say everyday beast. Because he's more than a powerhouse. He's just domination right now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What are you expecting for that big match?
I'm expecting a decent match with a good old Money in the Bank cashing in.
33 days away from WrestleMania. You're making a Money in the Bank cash-in prediction, huh?
Well, that's the only time he can cash it in. Otherwise, it becomes...
No, he has up until the Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's the only time Brock Lesnar's going to be there.
Well, let's get into that a little bit. Brock Lesnar, a report earlier, had said that he might go back to the UFC because his contract runs out after WrestleMania. Now, there have been multiple reports that he might not go back and that he might re-sign with WWE. So, does that leave any opportunity for him to retain at WrestleMania?
It does. And if it doesn't, it's foolish. If they're going to sign him and not have him keep the belt, it's pointless for him to be there, unless if he's going to be there consecutively.
Consistently?
Consistently. But if he loses and doesn't leave WrestleMania with the belt, I don't think he's coming back to WWE. For what?
Good question. I mean,
He took out The Undertaker, he took out John Cena.
Like you said, though, I don't want to see him come back unless he's going to represent the title like it should be represented.
How about this? Then what did you feel about The Rock?
Oh, I thought it was awful. I don't like having The Rock come back every now and then have a awesome title push like that. He doesn't. No, it shouldn't be like that
At all.
at all. Can't stand it.
That's what
Love The Rock.
That's what I feel like Brock Lesnar's going to do the rest of his career.
It's dumb.
Come back whenever he wants, automatically has a title shot, wins it.
That's part of the reason why CM Punk left too.
Yep.
That would piss me off too. That pisses me off as a fan. It shouldn't happen like that. Yes, everybody loves The Rock. That's why they're not going to get knocked for it. But I love The Rock just as much as anybody. But I can also appreciate a guy who stays there and works his way all the way up and doesn't leave and comes back and for a title shot. He makes his way for a title shot. He works his way up, which is why I always like John Cena so much.
Or how about somebody who's come in as a cheerleader and then reestablished himself as the Shawn Michaels of today? Yes, I'm talking about Dolph Ziggler. That guy, he was dulled down because he was starting to get hurt weekly. So they're like, oh, we can't push this guy. He's too much of a health risk. But then he proved that wrong and got better. And now it's like, what's your excuse now?
I don't know if Dolph Ziggler should be that guy, though.
He should definitely be up there.
Maybe competing for it. Maybe he can be like a Rikishi or something. Always competing for it but never winning it. I don't think he would ever. I don't know. Great wrestler. I love the guy. He's good for the company, but it's just another one of those guys that I can't see representing the WWE title.
He needs a gimmick change. Like, I don't feel that whole pretty boy type deal is right for him.
Too good.
It fits him, but they can do. That's more of a heel thing.
Exactly, which I think would be better for him.
Him go back to heel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a really good heel.
Yeah, not bad.
Very arrogant, and that's why I could see him being the Shawn Michaels of today.
The WWE has a lot of options to work with. They can really do anything they want and have it work, really. But one thing I do want to get into before we get out of here is Randy Orton made his return to Raw last night and kind of made amends with the Authority for now, as I like to say. He shook hands with Seth Rollins, who initially curb stomped him into the announce table, which Orton wasn't seen since then. What do you make of this? Is it going to stay this way?
I don't think so.
You think Orton's going to turn on him?
From the inside out, man. That's how you got to do it. Keep your friends closer and your enemies closer.
That's pretty much always what Randy Orton's been about too. He's never been in there to make friends or make fans. He just in there to do his job.
They missed out on one of the greatest opportunities with Randy Orton. That Legend Killer thing was amazing.
Oh, I loved that.
Think about it now. He would end Lesnar,
Taker.
I would have been very okay with him ending Taker's career.
Yep.
Bring back The Rock, him and The Rock's career. They could have made Randy Orton the top dog.
Mm-hmm.
Him and John Cena, the face of the company. I mean,
they had great matches. That's for sure.
Their matches were amazing.
Well, what was better, Cena and Edge or Cena and Orton? Because Cena and Edge had some great matches themselves.
Cena, Edge, and Cena or Orton?
Yeah.
Orton and Cena.
Really? Oh, I don't know about that. Cena Edge had some rocking matches. They had some great promos. They had some great behind-the-scenes work. That was a great rivalry.
Yeah, but it was... Think about it. It was basically the same thing.
I'm not saying it wasn't, but
Edge went, beat up his dad. Randy Orton went, beat up his dad.
What's up with that? Poor Mr. Cena.
Edge and Vicky were...
that was just gross.
Wherever in the back doing a promo. John Cena goes over there and beats him up. Randy Orton was doing a promo with his wife at his house. Here comes John Cena. Whoops him.
You know what?
It was the same storyline with two different people.
I know.
That's what I mean by repetitive.
You happy Randy Orton's back, though?
Yes. I love seeing Randy Orton.
What about Sheamus before we get out of here? Sheamus, they've been promoting his return the last couple of weeks, and he didn't even return at Fastlane. I was expecting a Sheamus return before I was expecting an Orton return.
Really?
Oh yeah, they've been promoting Sheamus's return for the past 3-4 weeks now. So I'm like, this guy's probably gonna have a match even if Fastlane didn't happen that
Against
way.
who?
Oh, I don't know.
Exactly. Randy Orton already
I don't
has...
care, like Jack Swagger or something.
Look at Randy Orton already has this storyline with Seth Rollins. Throw Randy Orton out there. They're building something for Sheamus because they're trying to get him somewhere where if he returns, it's not going to be like, oh, whatever. They want it to be an actual big event.
Well, who would he... I mean, he's going to have a run with somebody. He's going to have a run with somebody at WrestleMania. He's too good for him not to, but...
He's going to come back and win the Andre the Giant award thing.
Oh, could be. Well, think that would be a little small for Sheamus, or...
Not really.
Well, I don't know.
It's an Andre the Giant.
Oh, that's a smart aleck move right there. I mean, I feel like Rollins and Orton are gonna feud at some point.
How about this? Mysterio comes back.
Hey, there
wins
you go.
the Andre the Giant.
That'd be cool.
There's something else for Rey Mysterio to act like he'd done something important.
Oh, it'd be nice. We thank you. We thank you today. Before Joe speaks anymore, we thank you for listening to this week's edition of the official Sam and Joe Show podcast. Catch our show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com every Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m. Thanks for listening. I'm Second City Sam. He's the important Joe. Have a good one.